Hey everyone, Trading Aloha here. Today we're going to take a quick look at the new launch of Imperium Empires Apollo that just went live a couple of days ago. This is yet another game on Avalaunch that the developing team has been working on over the course of the last year. This is separate from the main game that they're still targeting a release date of at the end of this year. If you take a look quick at the ImperiumEmpires.com main screen, you can see that it's going to be the first AAA game within the metaverse. And there's currently an alpha being tested of the actual game that's going to be coming out at the end of the year or early next year that you can apply for. But in the meantime, you can just take a look at kind of what's to come here as far as what NFTs and ships are already available that have been minted out over the last year, and how you can use those in the current Apollo game, which I'll walk you through. And it also shows you a couple of videos that will link you to YouTube for upcoming NFTs that they're going to be selling, as well as what's to come in the future for Imperium Empires. So if you just kind of take a look through the overall, scheme of what Imperium Empires is coming up with, they're looking to continue to build on a very strong team that is very engaged, both on Twitter and on Discord. They've got quite a few followers over on Twitter. If you just jump over there, you can see it's almost about 49,000 followers, which is pretty solid for a game that has not gone live yet. And then it has had its difficulties over the last year. When they did their NFT sales, I think 7 or 8 months ago, there was an issue that it got botted pretty hard, and there was a lot of FUD that came around the NFT sales. But the team was in the trenches working it every day, made it right, paused the mint, and relaunched it, and made sure everyone was made whole as far as exactly what they were trying to do to get on the whitelist, and who had reserved mints and all that stuff. So it actually was really well handled from a catastrophe, and it showed that the team's dedicated to making it right, and really they're focused on the long-term project of the game. So I have a lot of faith in the team behind it, and you can see some of the members of the team further down on the website. But just take a look at what their experience is, their relationship with the teams throughout the Avalaunch ecosystem has been really solid. So overall their team's great. So you can take a look at their website. You can scroll down. It talks about their tokenomics as far as how they're going to deal with burns and all that stuff in the future. And I expect to see some revisions to their white paper. You can take a look at it. It's about 26 pages long. It goes really in detail on exactly how the game is going to work as far as guilds and tokenomics and all the other stuff that is needed to be to really understand the depth of the game. So we'll cover that a lot more in detail when the actual game is released at the end of the year. But for right now, we're just going to focus on their Apollo game, which the main goal of Apollo is to help build their ecosystem to ensure that they can sustain the tokenomics that they're going for their main game. Because a lot of the stuff that you earn in game is going to be locked as far as rewards, which you can use on future versions of Imperium Empires. So it's just to get you a taste of the game itself. Totally an interesting concept, which I haven't seen before. So I'm interested to see how that works. So you can keep looking at the future of the game, and we'll touch on all that stuff later. But right now we're just going to focus on Apollo. So if you jump over to their Medium, you can read all about the game mechanics. They're still filtering out some bugs because this was just released a couple of days ago, and we'll kind of see those bugs as we proceed through the walkthrough here. But their Medium is updated very regularly as far as the current versions of Apollo, as well as the future goals and NFTs that they're looking at selling here in the future. So, and also how to get onto the pre-alpha and alpha to test out the actual game, which I've seen. The graphics are solid and really great for a NFT metaverse type games that I haven't played before, especially on Avalaunch. And we'll take a look at that too. So you can jump over to their main page where you can see their marketplace. The minting is done for right now. All of the ships have been minted out. There is staking available, single-sided and LP with AVAX. You can see that. There's, you go to the staking page. It walks you through exactly how to stake, how to claim, and what pools are available. It's very well put together, so it's very easy to understand exactly what you're getting into, where you can get the tokens from Trader Joe, Bytebit, or MEXC, where you can get the LP from, where it is over on Trader Joe, where you can stake them, choosing the lockup time, depending on different APYs and what you're shooting for from 1 month to a year, and then, how you can claim it. And once you claim it, As you can see here, the rewards are claimed. They're automatically deposited into the staking pool for a 12-month lockup period. So this is a long-term, set and forget kind of thing. I've got big plans for Imperium Empires. I think they do very well, and I've got quite a bit staked as well. And it tells you exactly how you can withdraw those, and then where they end up. And then this kind of walks you through exactly how much you'd have staked, your rewards, your withdraw, and you can go through all that. So that's just staking in a nutshell. And then to get to the main game, you just come in through the Imperium Empires main site. You go to play. Immediately when you pop it up, it'll drop you in here with a tutorial. It kind of tells you exactly how you need to set your ships up, which we'll show you here in a second. It walks you through, you need to create a fleet, you need to add ships to that fleet, then you hit confirm. And this is all, once you're in the game, it's all, no gas is required. But setting up the fleet does take a little bit sometimes. And then, tells you exactly how you need to move around, and we'll show you. And it even has a tutorial video if you need it onto their main site. So once you finish all that, you're bounced into the game where you can see your galaxy here that you're starting at. So, this just shows you all the events on the right-hand side that are going on with other players. And then it shows you exactly what galaxy you're in, T3. So what you'll need to do if you have no ships or anything set up, you need to go down here into your hangar. And it'll bring up exactly what you have. You can see kind of my ships here are in my hangar. They're all already assigned to a fleet. If you're just starting for the first time, you're going to need to go to wallet. And if you see none of your ships here, you just need to resynchronize. You'll see ships all here. And then you just click on them, hit approve to transfer, do a quick transaction, and then do it one more time, and that'll transfer them into your hangar. And once they're all on your hangar, you're good to go to make your fleets. So you can come out of here, and then you go into fleet, and you'll need to add ships. So I have 3 fleets kind of already doing it, doing mining and other things that I'll show you. I just wanted to test out the game before I rate this walkthrough to make sure I understood it in detail. So if you just have a new one, you'll have an empty fleet available, and you just choose add ships to fleet. You'll see your 2 remaining, or how many ships you have, which I have 2 scooties that I have not assigned. And you just assign ship to, click on the spot, the ship, assign ship. Takes a second. Then you do the second one, assign ship. And then you can name it whatever you want. I could just call it Scooties Demo just for now. And then you have your fleet set up. So you can just X out of that screen. And now you are ready to go. So if you go, you can basically click anywhere on the screen. It'll bring up your fleet list on the right-hand side. And you can see that 3 of my fleets are kind of idle and not doing anything. And the Scooties demo that I just created is currently docked. And we can click on the little location button. It'll take us right to, I haven't launched it, so they wouldn't take us anywhere. So to get your fleet out so you can move it around, you click launch fleet. And then you click your Scooties demo. And you click your Scooties demo, and you click launch fleet. So now you've got your fleet shows up on the map. You can click that. You see they're all idle here, and you can see exactly what galaxy they're in. Some of them are, it depends on exactly what your different tier you're looking for. So there's 3 tiers as far as the Apollo game goes. Tier 1 is the war zone, tier 2 is the combat zone, and tier 3 is the safe zone. And basically, the higher the tier, the more safe you are. So tier 3 is pretty safe, with tier 1 being war zone, where your ships can get damaged by other players. But the rewards, of course, scale with that as well. So there'll be more rewards you get in the war zone, and a little bit less in the lower zones. And in the safe zones, you get the least, but your ship is pretty much safe. So your ship won't be destroyed in this version. So your Apollo, you're pretty safe. All you got to do is worry about repairing your fleet if you need to. So just keep that in mind as far as what ships you're putting in which fleets. You want to make sure if you've got some of the bigger class ships that you can send those out to the war zone, and you'll be pretty safe because there's not that many available. So if you hold one, you're in good shape. But if you have a couple of weak scooties, you're at the mercy of some of the other players that might be out there. So just keep that in mind as you play along. So now that you've got your fleet out, we can go zoom to our fleet, which we saw. So it'll take us back here. So now we can see, we want to go see our Scooties demo, which is in the war zone, or the safe zone, because we are tier 3. And we're going to take a look at, we need to go, basically what you want to do, you've got a couple of actions you can do. You can mine, which is mining materials. You can refine. Once you get those materials in your ship, you have to take them to a refinery and refine them. And then trade those materials after they're refined to get the IMC reward. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find a location you want to go to. Since this is a weak fleet that only has 2 scooties and they're my least powerful scooties, I'm going to keep them in the safe zone so they don't get damaged. And basically what you want to do is try to find a mining station that's available. So you can see there's one right here. So we're going to go ahead and move to that location. So you see you want to take the Zector, you want to move, you click your ship, and it tells you it'll take about 29 minutes for it to get there. That's 29 real-time minutes. And then you click move, and you can see that there are 8 players currently mining there. So that's where the rewards will be distributed against, but we're going to move there anyway. And then you can see there's about 29 minutes left for us to get there. So now, since I have other ships available, let's take a look at the war zone, where I've got one of my fleets. As you can see, there are a lot more opportunities to mine different materials. There's currently one fleet mining some iron ore right here. And as you can see, I can mine right now if I wanted to. It would take about 4 hours to complete this mining session. However, because there's only 45 minutes left for this event, I am going to go ahead and move over here where there is all this ore is remaining. There are no people mining. There's still 12 hours left. It's only going to take me 29 minutes to get there. So I'm going to go ahead and move them over. And you can see that's going to take 29 minutes to get there. And once that 29 minutes is up, I will mine with them as well. And so we've got 2 other ones left. Let's take a look over here. Different galaxy, maybe. There we go. All right, so you see we've got a couple options here. We can move up. There's only an hour, 45 minutes left here, and 14 hours here. So ideally, I'd move down here. But the other thing I wanted to show you is how to check your inventory. So once you continue to mine and mine and mine and mine, your cargo eventually gets full. So what you're going to want to need to check is to ensure that your capacity isn't full. So right now I've got 1,248 different types of materials divided up between 2 kinds of ore, but I can carry 5,300. So I'm going to keep mining with these ships as well until they reach close to their capacity before I hit the refinery, because you're going to need a certain amount of iron to be sure that you can actually refine them. So, and each refinery is a different refinery, so you can't refine iron ore and Zeta ore in the same refinery. So you're gonna have to go to 2 different places. And while you do this, you're also at risk of other ships that are what is called lurking. As you can see, like in the main menu here, if you clicked on, one of the here, we see there's a lurk option. And what lurk does is you're basically attacking other ships that are mining in that area. And if you do defeat those ships in battle, which is simulated, that you don't see, you will get a portion of their cargo. And you can do that at mining locations, refinery locations, and around docks. So if you've got powerful ships and you don't want to mine, you can just kind of sit and lurk in all those places and keep attacking other ships, filling up your cargo with their cargo, and then taking their stuff and refining it. So that's one avenue to play it as well, which I haven't explored as much because I've been just playing with different types of ore and trying to refine those as well to see how that works. And then I'm also going to have a lurking fleet here shortly that I'm going to use. So we'll touch on that later. But as an intro video, it makes the most sense to get your ships into a fleet, get them out into either the safe zone or maybe I'd say tier 2, mine some ore, get used to refining it. And if you've got powerful ships, then you can try the lurking option. So for me, I'm just going to move my scooties here to this location where there are plenty of ore available. Get them moving, and all this is gasless. So once you've got everything transferred into the game wallet, you don't have to worry about running the AVAX or IME just to do actions. So, but you do have to think ahead, because everything is timed, and if you're flying multiple galaxies, you're going to have to take that into account, because it can take 4, 5, 6 hours to fly from a tier 1 to a tier 3. And if you make the mistake that I did, which I launched my powerful fleet into the safe zone on a far planet in the galaxy, I had to wait for them to get there and turn around and come back to the dock them, and then fly them out to, basically took the entire day worth of playing away, because I didn't think ahead, and I just thought I could just launch them and fly them wherever I want. So just take that into account once you're playing. So I've got one group left, is my Alpha Scooties, which is my strongest fleet. They are in the tier 3 zone as well, and that has my best ships in it. There is not a whole lot going on here, so I am actually going to move them back to the dock, I think, and I'm going to take them out into the combat zone, because they need to be there. And I also think I'm going to refine this ore while I'm at it. So you have to find a refinery, so you'll see the dock here, which is, you can just fly back there and dock. But I need to find a refinery, which I don't see. Oh, there's one. So here is a refinery. Oh, it's a trade house. So I need to refine this iron ore. If I had 5,000 iron ore, I would get 100 silver credit, basically. So to do that, I'm going to need to take them to take my fleet, which has 2,500 iron ore. So I'm going to need to get more ore if I'm going to get credit. But what I'd like to do is find a Zito ore refinery and refine that. And to do so, I would need to find a refinery, which is here. A refinery. So this refinery does Imperium ore, which would not help me. So I need to keep moving. I haven't found a good way to find refineries within the galaxy yet quickly without just scrolling around. So there's another iron ore facility, refinery. And here we go. So my 5,000 Zito ore would turn into 2,500. So basically it's half. So I'm going to have to go ahead and move to here, which you can see, since it's such a far move, this is going to take 3 hours and 11 minutes just for them to get there, and then another 4 hours for them to refine the ore I have. So, that's going to take a good 7.5 hours to complete that. So just keep that in mind when you're playing to do those moves, those large moves overnight. That'll help save you some time. And once you click that, you can see that my ship is going from, all the way up here to all the way down there. So, that's just a quick look at, the overall makeup of how the game's played. Exactly what you can do. You can see the events on the side here, what's going on. You can click on them, and that'll show you, I guess that's a quick way to find refineries, which I hadn't tried, clicking on other people's moves, so you know exactly where they all are. And if you have any issues, you always click up top. It'll show you exactly what you need to do. It tells you to make sure that your fleet has the right material, because you don't want to waste your time flying all the way to a trade house or refinery and find out that you went to the wrong one and you can't get anything, which can be frustrating to have to go back out and play. And it tells you all of that and exactly each one of these, kind of tooltips, which is great to see that the team included that. They did fix a couple bugs in the last 24 hours. Before, when you clicked on inventory and clicked your ship, you couldn't see exactly what you had in there without going to a dock. So unless you were paying attention to what you're mining and how often, you have to ballpark how much you had. So it's good to see exactly now. You can check each one and what each ship has as far as, what they have mined. So you know what they're carrying, which is nice to see. Other than that, that's kind of the game in a nutshell. It's pretty cut and dry. They're going to keep adding things to this as well. So, this is just a quick exposure to, their initial game, which then they will launch, the actual game. If you had a chance to see a few of the screenshots and videos, it's actually really, really good. The graphics are fantastic. The playthrough was pretty smooth as far as, for a AAA game, using your own NFTs out of your wallet. It was really good. So I think, we'll expose more of that as we get closer to release, and we'll show all that stuff as well. If you hit there, Twitter, you can see they're pretty active as we talked about before. It walks you through exactly where you need to go. If you want to check out any of their material, you just hit their link tree. It'll take you anywhere you want to go. Their Medium is great. I recommend hitting that. The Discord is very active as well, so jump in there if you have any questions or concerns. They've got their own YouTube, which has good videos on it. Their Telegrams are active as well. So I'd recommend checking all of those out before you jump into play. I would jump into the Medium and start reading those articles because they're fantastic. And then if you want to take a look at exactly what's coming in the future, I'd give the read through the white paper. It is really descriptive. I think there's going to be some changes coming because this has not really been updated since it was initially released. So I think there are some changes in the future coming for this as far as exactly how it's going to work, but it's a good way to get your head wrapped around kind of the goals of the game itself. And then once you're ready to play, jump right in, add some ships to your wallet and start flying around. And they've got a current contest going on for $5,000 up for grabs. Whoever can collect the most silver credit. So mine as much as you can and refine, and trade it. And once you have the most, to see who wins that. It's kind of a fun little game to play. It doesn't cost you anything except for a couple NFTs to get involved, and then have fun. So hopefully this helps kind of explain exactly what Apollo is, how to play it, give you a quick overview of the game itself and the team behind it. As always, please hit me up on Twitter at Trading Aloha if you have any questions. If there's any other games you want to see a quick demo of. And then once we kind of get a couple of these on the shelf as far as the current games that are still making progress in the space, we're going to start going into more detailed strategy guides on exactly how to play these and what other ways you can approach it to make you the most return on your investment, as well as have fun and explore the play to earn and GameFi ecosystem on Avalaunch. So I appreciate you guys listening, and I will catch you next time.